Listen closely, because what I'm about to say might feel uncomfortable at first, but it will awaken something inside you that you've kept silent for years. There's a moment in every person's life when they finally stop chasing validation, stop begging to be understood, and stop hiding the truth of what they feel. That moment is happening to you right now, in this breath, in this exact second, and once you hear this message, you'll never be able to go back to who you were before. You'll walk differently, speak differently, love differently, and people will feel your presence before you say a single word. And the ones who underestimated you, the ones who thought you'd always be available, always forgiving, always soft, will start to ask themselves the question they never expected: what changed? Because you changed, and this change will not be quiet. You see, people in today's world, especially in relationships, have forgotten the power of silence. They think the loudest person wins. They think the one who speaks first takes control. But the Stoics understood something deeper, something almost dangerous. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is power. It's the moment before the lightning strikes. It's the breath before the truth lands. It's the space where your real strength grows and the world can't touch it. And when you finally learn to carry silence with confidence, you become unpredictable. You become magnetic. You become the kind of person who doesn't chase anyone because everyone starts watching you. There's something happening right now in relationships across America, something subtle but real. Good people are getting tired of being taken for granted, tired of giving more than they receive, tired of trying to love people who only show up when it's convenient. And men and women both are beginning to feel the same thing, the urge to step back, the urge to pull their energy inward, the urge to reclaim the parts of themselves they gave away too easily. And that shift, that transformation, is shaking the dating world more than anyone wants to admit. Because here's the truth: when you pull away not out of spite, not as a game, but in genuine self-respect, people feel it. They sense the energy change, they notice the silence, and their mind starts racing in places you never intended to touch. They wonder why you're not texting back right away. They wonder why you're calm instead of angry. They wonder why you're not begging. And if there was any attraction at all, that silence becomes a storm inside their brain. They start replaying your last words. They start imagining your absence. They start asking themselves if someone else is getting the attention they took for granted. This is the psychology nobody teaches you, but everyone reacts to. The Stoics understood desire, especially the kind that grows in silence. They understood the tension between longing and control, between intimacy and restraint. They knew that passion without discipline becomes chaos, but passion with discipline becomes influence. And in relationships, especially romantic ones, this balance is everything. When you learn to hold your ground, when you stop explaining yourself to people who don't listen, when you stop giving your heart to those who treat it casually, something inside you becomes sharper, clearer, stronger, and suddenly the very person who once ignored you starts paying attention again. Not because you begged, not because you complained, but because your silence made them feel something they didn't expect: the possibility of losing you. And let me tell you something about attraction, real attraction. It doesn't come from trying too hard. It doesn't come from proving yourself. It doesn't come from giving someone every piece of your soul before they've earned even a corner of it. Attraction is a mix of presence, mystery, intention, and energy. It's the way you look at someone without needing them. It's the way you walk away without fear. It's the way you hold your emotions with maturity, even when your body craves closeness, intimacy, warmth. Yes, intimacy matters. Yes, sexual chemistry matters. Yes, desire matters. But the truth is, desire grows strongest when it's not desperate. It grows when there is space, when there is tension, when there is a sense of "can I have them?" instead of "I already have them whenever I want." That balance is what the modern world is losing. That balance is what your past relationships lacked. And that balance is what you're about to reclaim, starting now. You've been the one who stayed too long, the one who forgave too easily, the one who explained yourself too much, the one who cared more than the other person was ready to appreciate. Don't punish yourself for that. It means you have a heart that still believes in connection, even in a world where people swipe through humans like they're disposable. But your heart needs something from you now. It needs protection. It needs boundaries. It needs the strength to say, "I love you, but I won't lose myself for you." And once you start living that way, everything changes, not just in love, but in every part of your life. Because the moment you stop letting people treat you casually, they start treating you carefully. The moment you show you're willing to walk away, people show they're willing to walk toward you. The moment you choose silence over unnecessary arguments, the other person feels the weight of their own actions. Silence makes people confront themselves, and in relationships, that's where the real truth lies. You want a relationship that feels alive, that feels deep, that feels intimate not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You want passion, yes, but not the kind that burns out in a week. You want the kind of passion that grows over time, that builds tension, that makes every touch feel intentional, every glance feel charged, every kiss feel earned. You want the kind of connection where you don't have to prove your worth, because the other person feels it in the way you carry yourself. You want someone who meets your silence with understanding, not fear, your strength with admiration, not insecurity, your boundaries with respect, not resistance. But here's the twist, the suspense nobody talks about. You can't attract that kind of relationship if you're afraid to lose the wrong one. And that's why your silence is becoming your new power. You're learning to say less but mean more. You're learning to observe instead of react. You're learning to feel attraction without letting it control you. You're learning that intimacy is not just about giving your body. It's about giving your attention, your energy, your presence. And those things are sacred when given to the right person. People mistake Stoicism for coldness, but true Stoicism is anything but cold. It is warm but disciplined, intense but controlled, passionate but grounded. It is the ability to feel everything without being ruled by anything. Imagine bringing that into your next relationship. Imagine being someone who can enjoy desire without losing clarity. Someone who can offer loyalty without losing dignity. Someone who can be intimate without becoming dependent. That is a rare presence in today's world, and rare becomes irresistible. And the person who once overlooked you, they will feel the difference. They'll feel the shift in your energy, the stability in your voice, the calmness in your decisions. They'll feel that you're no longer afraid to walk away, and that fear will trigger something deep inside them. The fear of losing someone they never should have taken for granted. And yes, sometimes people only value what they can't fully hold. That's human nature. That's psychology. But that doesn't mean you let them back in without proving they can meet you at your level now. Because you're not going backwards. The old version of you is gone, the version who begged, the version who waited, the version who tolerated half-love. It doesn't exist anymore. The new version of you is made of discipline, presence, confidence, and quiet strength. The kind of strength that doesn't need to shout. The kind that speaks through actions. The kind that makes your absence feel louder than your words ever did. And let me tell you something else. The moment you become this version of yourself, new people notice you. People who never looked your way before suddenly feel drawn to you. There's something about calm confidence that pulls people in. Men, women, everyone. They feel safe with it. They feel intrigued by it. They feel a desire they can't explain because your energy tells a story before your mouth says a word. It tells them you're not chasing anyone, and that creates a tension that modern dating rarely gives. It makes them think about you longer. It makes them imagine moments with you they haven't had yet. It makes them wonder how you'd look at them in silence, how you'd touch them with intention, how you'd speak to them with a voice that doesn't need to compete with noise. And that is exactly why you must continue this new path, because the world needs more people like this, people who love deeply but not blindly, people who desire connection but not at the cost of their soul, people who respect intimacy enough to not give it to everyone, people who carry silence like a weapon and love like a choice. This transformation you're going through, it's not temporary, it's not a phase. It's the beginning of a life where you become the strongest, most attractive version of yourself, not because of looks or status, but because of energy, discipline, and presence. And when you enter a relationship from that place, everything becomes different. You communicate better, you choose better, you attract better, you love better, and the person who ends up with you feels grateful, not entitled. So take a breath and feel what's changing inside you right now. Feel the strength building. Feel the clarity settling in. Feel the old version of you fading away. Feel the suspense of your own evolution, like a movie scene where the character finally realizes their power. Because that's you, that's what's happening. And from this moment on, your relationships will never be the same.